Yep. Wild Indian, yeah. Chucky Dog Town.
Magic. Welcome to Florida, Old World, Florida. Dr. Naco Longo. Brought to you by the Florida Department of Magic. Welcome to Florida City. Florida is the original Garden of Eden. Florida has the highest concentration of freshwater springs in the world. Florida oranges are the golden apples of mythology. A race of giant men once roamed this peninsula. The Smithsonian can suck my balls. Florida is littered with many ancient megalithic ship anchors, known as sacks or stones. I'm bringing sexy back. Noah's Ark was constructed out of gopher wood. Gopher wood only grows one place in the world, Florida.
know I'm true. Yeah. Come on. Give back what I want from you. So give back. You know I'm true. What I want from you. So give back. You know I'm true. Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right. Yo.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, Dr. Longo.
Hello, nurse. Would you send the first patient in?
Yeah, sure. They'll be right here.
Okay. Let me switch up my mic and my camera real quick. Happy Saturday, everyone. We're continuing our Casting Couch Astrology podcast. Show, podcast, whatever. It's really a show. We don't even stream on any podcast places, but you know. We're going to be talking about the Gregorian calendar tonight. This is following up our last two episodes, which are more or less kind of about the calendar. And I noticed a lot of people still didn't see what we were talking about because we didn't really focus on the Gregorian calendar too much. So that's what we're going to do today, right? We were talking about the Enochian calendar, the Essene calendar, the turtle shell last time.
Mm-hmm.
But just, since he wants us to bring it up, this is just a great example of what we're still trying to explain away. Okay, what we're still trying to debunk would be a strong word, but correct the misconception, set the record straight. So Harrison Swift here commented, please address how and when the 13-month calendar changed to 12-month. Well, we did that a little bit on the last show. And I tried to explain what the 1328 system really is. That's what we were both trying to explain in the last show. But not everyone saw the last show. So we're going to kind of attack that from another angle. But yeah, also there's some current events that we have to cover. How did you put it, Merlin, earlier? War is back on the menu.
War is back on the menu, boys, as it always has been here in America. Been at war most of our life here in America. And yeah, with today's actions, it's obviously escalating in a way that we all saw coming. Trump, what's the word? Animated. He indicated that this would come for a long time, but then when it happens, I mean, it came like thunder today. I woke up at 6 o'clock in the morning and saw the news. Everyone woke up and saw the news probably shortly after waking up. And, there were some wild reactions from all over today, I think.
Yeah, let's go tune in to what the White House put out earlier today so we can hear. What?
Sorry. No, there's a comment and someone says in the chat, a 3-hour war, LOL. Bro, do you think this is over? Like, the US troops are still going to be in Venezuela? It's just like, maybe it's just getting started. Maybe it's the beginnings, the seeds of what's to come. This could be the first in many different strikes that America makes over the next days and years. But yeah.
Well, we'll hear how Trump put it. He says that there's a second wave ready.
Yeah.
That they have a second stage of attack that they're holding off unless they really need to,
Yeah.
But let's watch. Let's go hear what Trump had to say, straight from the horse's mouth earlier today. This will be good to start off on. This is straight from the White House YouTube channel. So let's stay up to date, guys. We're going to catch some news real quick. All right, dodge the hijack, guys, okay? Oh, wow, folks. Whatever you think about Trump, whatever. We'll talk about it. So, you guys, some of you whine about 7-8 minutes of music before my show starts. The White House YouTube channel makes you wait 47 minutes before they actually come out and talk on this video. But here, let's roll a little music to soften the mood a little bit. You know what? I'm trying to get amped up.
Yeah, we need something better. Yeah, not better, but a different tone. There we go.
This is gonna be legendary. Hearing Trump being like, "Last night,
The greatest military in the world struck the corrupt president, Nicolas Maduro." Yeah. And yeah, they're dancing in... Never mind. I'll hold my comments.
all right, let's hit it." Hang on.
Maduro in the dead of night. It was successfully
There we go.
captured. Maduro.
Okay, I guess the audio is just not there at the beginning.
Interesting.
Just wait 1 sec. It'll kick in.
We appreciate you being here.
There we go.
Late last night and early today, at my direction, the United States Armed Forces conducted an operation in the capital of Venezuela. Overwhelming American military power, air, land, and sea, was used to launch a spectacular assault. And it was an assault like people have not seen since World War II. It was a force against a heavily fortified military fortress in the heart of Caracas to bring outlaw dictator Nicolas Maduro to justice. This was one of the most stunning, effective, and powerful displays of American military might and competence in American history. And if you think about it, we've done some other good ones, like the attack on Soleimani,
That was a good one.
the attack on al-Baghdadi, and the
That was a good one.
obliteration and decimation of the Iran nuclear sites
Yep.
just recently in an operation known as Midnight Hammer. All perfectly executed and done. No nation in the world could achieve what America achieved yesterday, or frankly, in just a short period of time. All Venezuelan military capacities were rendered powerless as the men and women of our military, working with U.S. law enforcement, successfully captured Maduro in the dead of night. It was dark. The lights of Caracas were largely turned off due to a certain expertise that we have. It was dark and it was deadly. But captured along with his wife,
Damn.
Celia Flores,
His wife.
both
was-
of whom now face American justice.
Yeah.
Maduro and Flores have been indicted in the Southern District of New York.
That was nice of him. That was nice of them to bring his wife, right?
Dude, remember when Trump's wife, they like raided her panty drawer or some shit like that when they raided Mar-a-Lago like a few years ago under Biden, and he was like, "Oh my gosh, how dare you invade my wife like that?" And then he literally steals this guy's wife on charges when Netanyahu is a fucking literal war criminal wanted by the ICC. Okay, greatest ally.
It's some gangster shit though, you can't lie.
Oh yeah, I mean taking the guy's wife is crazy, dude. Like having been married, that's a bond, bro. Like you've messed with somebody's wife, like you're asking to get fucked up. Or obviously in this case, you're sending a serious message. But like that's just crazy. That's over the line. I mean, the whole thing is over the line in my opinion. But like take the wife, dude, is like next level. You do not fuck with that usually. That's crazy.
Well, I don't know the extent of her criminality, but it's nice that they took her with him, so he'll have his wife with him at least. He won't be
Yeah, I don't-
allowed in America.
I don't think he's getting conjugal visits, bro. I don't think that's gonna be happening.
Oh, he's getting conjugal visits
Okay.
because apparently he's going to be at the same place that Pete Diddy's at.
Oh shit, they're gonna throw him a Diddy party where he's the guest of honor?
He's going to have more than conjugal visits.
Oh no. Maduro, bro.
Yep.
Jay Clayton for their campaign of deadly narco-terrorism against the United States and its citizens.
Shout out to Cucumber 33 for being a member for 10 months. Orange is on deck, he says.
Shout out to all bears, honestly. What up, bears?
Yeah, true. Nathaniel says, all right, hang on. Hello, Doctor. Please enlighten us on why the Gregorian calendar begins on January 1st instead of something seemingly more logical like the winter solstice. Okay. I don't know exactly why, but we talked about a couple explanations on the last show. We're going to talk about the new year a little bit on this show. I think the big one is the circumcision of alleged Jesus's. So Jesus' birthday on December 25th, alleged birthday, plus 8 days. That gets you, I think, to January 1st. So I don't know if that's 25th, but that's the traditional date given for the circumcision of Jesus. Now, we talked about that not being his actual birthday. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Why is it January 1st? You know, we also talked about if you punch your clock in Capricorn, you're almost like giving your society a Capricorn birth chart by renewing the year at that time. So Capricorn has a lot of good to it, but there's also a lot of utilitarian servitude, sacrifice, you know. Being okay with being oppressed is a very Capricorn thing. So to have a society that renews its year in Capricorn, that's in a way that society will act out in a Capricornian way. So for the Industrial Revolution and people stuffing themselves in, you know, cubicles, Capricorn's very conducive to that. So spring equinox, new year, it would probably be harder to get away with that. It would probably be harder to fill the buildings full of sheeple. No offense to our office workers out there. We love you, but what do you think, Merlin?
I mean, it's a few different reasons. The circumcision of Jesus is super interesting. It makes everything line up super nicely, in my opinion. And then B, I'm going to talk about April and April 1st, why April 1st specifically is the new year. We'll talk about that later as we go through the months. We're going to go through each month by month here in a little bit. Mm-hmm. And you'll notice with the calendar that, every month begins one decan into a sign. So, for each sign of the zodiac, there are 3 deacons, 10 degrees to each deacon, 30 degrees to each sign of the zodiac. And like, for instance, Capricorn begins December 21st, and then roughly 1 decan later, after December 31st, on the 2nd decan of Capricorn, that's when the month of January begins. And that's just interesting in and of itself. But then really what it comes down to is that it really just makes everything line up really, really neatly. And we'll talk more. We're going to talk about the new year, so we can save a little bit of it for then. But yeah, I think that's the reason why specifically.
Hell yeah. All right, guys, keep your heads down. We're moving on with the assault. All right, take cover. We're going onward to Venezuela.
I want to thank the men and women of our military who achieved such an extraordinary success overnight with breathtaking speed, power, precision, and competence. You rarely see anything like it. You've seen some raids in this country that didn't go so well. They were an embarrassment. If you look back to Afghanistan, or if you look back to the Jimmy Carter days, they were different days. We're a respected country again, like never before. These highly trained warriors operating in collaboration with U.S. law enforcement caught them in a very ready position. They were waiting for us. They knew we had many ships out in the sea, just sort of waiting. They knew we were coming. So they were in what's called a ready position. But they were completely overwhelmed and very quickly incapacitated. If you would have seen what I saw last night, you would have been very impressed. I'm not sure that you'll ever get to see it, but it was an incredible thing to see. Not a single American service member was killed, and not a single piece of American equipment was lost. We had many helicopters, many planes, many people involved in that fight. But think of that, not one piece of military equipment was lost, not one service member was, more importantly, killed. The United States military is the strongest and most fearsome military on the planet by far. With capabilities and skills our enemies can scarcely begin to imagine. We have the best equipment anywhere in the world. There's no equipment like what we have. And you see that even if you just look at the boats. We've knocked out 97% of the drugs coming in by sea. 90%. Each boat kills on average, 25,000 people. We knocked out 97%. And those drugs mostly come from a place called Venezuela. We're going to run the country until such time as we can do a safe, proper, and judicious transition. So we don't want to be involved with having somebody else get in, and we have the same situation that we had for the last long period of years. So we are going to run the country until such time as we can do a safe, proper, and judicious transition. And it has to be judicious, because that's what we're all about. We want peace, liberty, and justice for the great people of Venezuela. And that includes many from Venezuela that are now living in the United States and want to go back to their country. It's their homeland. We can't take a chance that somebody else takes over Venezuela that doesn't have the good of the Venezuelan people in mind.
We can't risk that, folks.
Of that. We're not going to let that happen.
Luckily, we'll
now,
sort that out.
And what people don't understand,
we're going to be sorting out what's best for the Venezuelan people, thank God.
Oh yeah, they got lots of oil. They need some democracy real bad. A heavy dose of democracy.
But I mean, what have they been up to? Who knows? Maybe it'll be good for them. A little bit more America could be good for them. I grew up with a lot of Venezuelans, and all their parents left Venezuela because of gang violence. So, they should have taken care of their country. Oh, but everyone's been treating them bad, and the fucking embargoes, sanctions, whatever, blah 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 blah. I don't know. Venezuela should be able to stand up on its own 2 feet, and I don't know. I've seen a lot of Venezuelans celebrating this. You know, I think they're rather happy about it, from what I've seen.
Well, the Venezuelans that are here are, and a lot of the Venezuelan gangs that came here, for instance, the ones that took over the blocks in Colorado, Maduro did crack down on gang violence. And that's when we got a lot of the Venezuelan gangs coming to America. So, like, you know, like when you grew up with those Venezuelans, that was long before Maduro took power. And then
Right.
the recent Venezuelans are a lot more of the gang banging type Venezuelans. So, and then when it comes to the, like, I saw the comment too in the chat, man, like people saying, oh, people are celebrating. I saw it on Facebook too. Everyone's like, oh, they're celebrating in the street, as if somehow people are unaware that the media can manipulate things to make it look like there's a big celebration when there's not, as if we're not aware of this in the year of our Lord 2026. You know what I mean? So it's like, oh, Fox News shows 10 people dancing in the street. The Venezuelans are happy. You know, Maduro was democratically elected. Like they contest that Maduro was not democratically elected, but like so many independent or like actual independent organizations went in and verified that he was democratically elected. So this is rough, man.
Well, you know what? I at least appreciate the honesty that we hear in this press conference, because Donald Trump pretty much says, yeah, we're going to invite the American oil companies in to come take over and, you know, have their way. Let's keep listening.
But they understand as I say this, we're there now, but we're going to stay until such time as the proper transition can take place. So we're going to stay until such time as we're going to run it essentially until such time as a proper transition can take place. As everyone knows, the oil business in Venezuela has been a bust, a total bust for a long period of time. They were pumping almost nothing by comparison to what they could have been pumping and what could have taken place. We're going to have our very large United States oil companies, the biggest anywhere in the world, go in, spend billions of dollars, fix the badly broken infrastructure, the oil infrastructure, and start making money for the country. And we are ready to stage a second and much larger attack if we need to do so. So we were prepared to do a second wave if we needed to do so. We actually assumed that a second wave would be necessary, but now it's probably not. The first wave, if you'd like to call it that, the first attack was so successful, we probably don't have to do a second, but we're prepared to do a second wave, a much bigger wave, actually. This was pinpoint, but we have a much bigger wave that probably won't have to do. This partnership of Venezuela with the United States of America, a country that everybody wants to be involved with because of what we were able to do and accomplish, will make the people of Venezuela rich, independent, and safe. And it will also make the many, many people from Venezuela that are living in the United States extremely happy. They suffered. So much was taken from them. They're not going to suffer anymore. The illegitimate dictator Maduro was the kingpin of a vast criminal network responsible for trafficking colossal amounts of deadly and illicit drugs into the United States. As alleged in the indictment, he personally oversaw the vicious cartel known as Cartel de las Solas, which flooded our nation with lethal poison, responsible for the deaths of countless Americans, the many, many Americans. Hundreds of thousands over the years of Americans died because of him. Maduro and his wife will soon face the full might of American justice and stand trial on American soil. Right now, they're on a ship. They'll be heading to ultimately New York, and then a decision will be made, I assume, between New York and Miami or Florida. But we have
We'll take them.
people where the overwhelming evidence of their crimes will be presented in a court of law. And I've seen it. I've seen what we have. It's both horrible and breathtaking that something like this could have been allowed to take place. For many years after his term as president of Venezuela expired, Maduro remained in power and waged a ceaseless campaign of violence, terror, and subversion against the United States of America, threatening not only our people, but the stability of the entire region. And you all saw it. In addition to trafficking gigantic amounts of illegal drugs that inflicted untold suffering and human destruction all over the country, all over, in particular, the United States. Maduro sent savage and murderous gangs, including the bloodthirsty prison gang, Tren de Aragua, to terrorize American communities nationwide. And he did indeed. They were in Colorado. They took over apartment complexes. They cut the fingers off people if they called police. They were brutal, but they're not so brutal now. And I just have to congratulate our military, Pete and everybody, and our National Guard, because the job that they've done, whether it's in Washington, D.C., where we have a totally safe city, where it was one of the most unsafe cities anywhere in the world, frankly, and now we have no crime in Washington, D.C. We haven't had a killing. We had the terrorist attack a few weeks ago. A little bit of a different kind of a threat, but we haven't had a killing in a long period of time, 6-7 months. We used to have two, on average, 2 a week in Washington, our capital. We don't have that anymore. The restaurants are opening. Everyone's happy. They're going, they're walking their daughters, they're walking their children, their wives, they walk to restaurants. Restaurants are opening all over Washington, D.C. So I want to thank the National Guard. I want to thank our military, and I want to thank law enforcement. It's been amazing. And they should do it with more cities. We're doing it, as you know, and we're doing it in Memphis, Tennessee right now, and crime is down. We just sort of started a few weeks ago, but crime is down now 77%. And the governor of Louisiana called. Great.
No Coiner 5599 with $5 says, it's crazy how they time this stuff right after New Year. All the countries start their invasions and shit. LOL.
Yeah, man, shit could get crazy. You got Venezuela, you got China could move on Taiwan, you got Iran, obviously, the Gaza situation, Ukraine, Russia, the UK now possibly getting involved. You know, they're kind of stirring up the pot over there. So, I mean, and I like to say that Saturn is moving into Aries this year, guys. Saturn enters Aries once every 30 years. Saturn's on a 29.5-year cycle. So unless you're 60 years old or like way into your 50s, maybe your 40s, late 40s, you have not seen Saturn in Aries in your adult life. And that's a big deal because Saturn falls in Aries.
No Coiner also says, with $2, says, curious what you guys thinks of the tax revolt meme. What's that?
Yeah, I'm not familiar. I'm pretty up to date on memes. I mean,
Hey,
go ahead.
no, you go ahead.
Are we allowed to say we support not paying?
The N-word?
No, not the N-word. Like, can you be like, yeah, don't pay your taxes? Like, that's not. Is that YouTube safe to even say?
Yeah,
Just like hypothetically?
I probably wouldn't say that.
Yes, I would never say that. I would never say that. You know, pay as much as you can. Pay extra if you can. Give it to go donate directly to a fucking Somali daycare.
Damn. All right. Give me one sec. Can you go on? Do you have a Twitter?
I don't.
Fuck. All right, I can't log into my Twitter for some reason right now.
What you looking for?
Want to find all like the video of the shooting and the bombing happening.
Oh, I could try and help find that.
last night. Missiles coming down and stuff. Yeah, I don't know why I can't log into my X. Twitter.
I'll try and find a YouTube video of it.
But all right, so we got Maduro got taken out. I wonder who it was. Delta Force, someone like that. Who knows?
Yeah. Here, I got a short for you. I could throw in chat if you want.
Yeah, as long as
private.
it's not too graphic.
I don't think. I mean, I haven't watched the whole thing, but it's just bombs. It's all over YouTube. You know, if it's not getting them flagged, it shouldn't get us 2 flags.
Okay, yeah. USA Today.
Amor,
Oh man.
ay, no. Amor. Ay, no.
All right, I think you're repeated.
Yeah. Can you imagine how fucking terrifying it must be to be getting bombed by the United States? Like, that's nuts, man.
Yeah. Well, he shouldn't have been taunting us. That's all I'll say. Should have kept his mouth shut. Showed some respect to America. You know, I think a lot of people don't see America as it really is. America is a war machine, whether you like it or not. Okay, it's like the Roman Empire. You're either expanding or you're declining. You're either strong enough to pick a fight or you're weak enough to get, surrounded and picked on. So, say what you want. Oh, Israel's interests, America's interests, oil interests. How about this? Apollonius of Tyana, my favorite philosopher, Apollonius, however you say it. He said, the purpose of life for a man is to vanquish your enemy at arms and to surpass your father in virtues. So let's hope America can live up to that. So here, 6 Hour wants to join in the call. You want to take a caller?
Yeah, sure.
Hey, 6 Hour, you're in the call. Is there
My
something
thing-
you want- Yeah, you're in. What's up?
What's up?
I'm not sure. It's not showing me my my face or anything now.
Yeah, we
Um,
don't want
just-
to we don't want to see your face.
You want to you like looking at my backside, but it's all good.
We can hear you loud and clear.
No, I just want to say Happy New Year to you guest and everybody in chat. I'm not seeing myself on the call anymore. I'll call back. Hold on.
You're on.
You're good.
We hear
You're
you.
good. Happy New Year
Hold
to you as
on.
well, bro.
Yeah, and just wanted to say about this Venezuela stuff. It kind of is bothering me this evening with Maduro. I believe it's all over fiat currency. Just like the Gaddafi, we kind of got rid of him. China, Russia, and a few other. You're not supposed to say that live.
Whatever.
Basically, everybody wants to get off the fiat currency, and DJT is not allowing people to just be them. We don't have the right to go into Venezuela.
Mm-hmm. Well, fair points.
I
You
agree
know-
with you, bro.
How about this? These guys aren't angels, okay? These guys weren't like standing up to the globalists, like, you know, they just happened, you know, that people pass this list around. They're like, oh, there's only a couple countries left that aren't on the globalist, you know.
100.
Well, you know, where's that coming from? How do we know that? How do we know that to be a fact? And Gaddafi was no angel, okay?
Oh, 100 again.
Maduro's no angel. And I love America. I'm glad we're back on top.
You and everyone in chat, or else a couple of us wouldn't allow them.
Whatever. What state do you live in? Remind me.
I'm like a couple of blocks behind you. I was at your first meetup in Hollywood. I was the one who first brought the oranges into the meetup. Remember?
Oh.
And you asked if I needed help.
Oh, thank you, man.
You're a sweetheart in person. He's nothing like this. Anybody listening, he's nothing like this on YouTube.
Nothing like this. Why do I come across as an asshole on YouTube?
Sometimes rough. I'm in some telegrams and some Discord channels, and I stick up for you a lot. Let's say that.
Awesome. Thank you. Yeah, there's some lesbian park rangers out there who don't like me too much, but
100, and I'll get back to listening. I thought this show was going to go a little bit different. The beginning, and then you're going to cut into what your thumbnail was in. You have a wonderful night. You guessed, everybody in chat. Happy New Year.
thanks, man. Thanks for calling in, Sig.
You
What
got
do you
it,
think?
Brock.
Do you like 6 hours?
A 100%. It might not be in your bookstore, but it's in mine.
What do you think of the P320?
100%. I got big hands. I still live with the P226, and it's a hammer.
Is the P320 dangerous?
All of them are. We shouldn't be dealing with any of them. We should be eating meat, I think, but
Oh yeah?
no, I won't get into that.
You want to talk about that?
Nah. Next time when my face could be shown. It was showing in the beginning, and I don't know, it went downhill.
Will your face be a testament to the diet?
You go for. I'll let you beat on me tonight. You want to get into it?
No. But you want to pick a fight?
You mention all the good things, and all we can do the I don't know, the basement dwellers that listening in, we could always just try to eat right and be healthy and love each other.
Oh, well, appreciate that. Good New Year's resolution right there, right?
There you go. And thanks for taking my call, and everybody again, Happy New Year's, and donate, you cheap bastards.
Great. Thanks, Sig. All right. Have a good night, man.
God bless.
Okay. So let's talk about the calendar a little bit.
Yes, sir.
Gregorian calendar. It's New Year's. How's this for a nice New Year's fireworks show? The Venezuela strike. So also James Fishback. We should shout out James Fishback. Let's see
Shout
if
out
there's
James
any good.
Fishback.
Yeah, let's see if there's any good stuff on this channel.
My name is
Guys, if you haven't heard of James Fishback, you need to. Okay. Here, I'm going to cut the music off. We're going to listen to James Fishback. Let's see. All right.
My name is James Fishback, and I'm running to succeed Ron DeSantis as Florida's next Republican governor. I'm running for Florida governor so I can make life more affordable for you and your family, easier to afford groceries, to buy a home, to raise a family, and when it's all said and done, to retire with dignity. I'll do that by stopping the H-1B scam so our workers, especially our college grads, can get jobs again. I'll tell Blackstone, Airbnb, and foreign investors that no, in Florida, you can't buy our homes because our homes are for families. And I'll stop the construction of any AI data center that threatens to raise our electricity bills or poison our water supply. And I'll completely and totally eliminate property taxes for every Florida resident, because in America, you don't rent your home from the government. You own it, free and clear. Nowadays, not all Republicans are the same. If a Republican politician supports the H-1B scam that fires our workers, he can't be our next governor. If he goes out and supports the building of AI data centers that threaten our electric bills and our water supply, he can't be our next governor. And if he goes to Congress and does nothing for us but makes millions of dollars trading stocks for himself, he can't be our next governor. Congressman Byron Donalds can't be our next governor because he won't fight for Florida like Ron DeSantis has. I will. I'll fight to preserve Governor DeSantis' wins by keeping Florida free from DEI, radical transgenderism, Soros-backed prosecutors, child predators, voter fraud, and the millions of illegals that invaded our country on Kamala Harris's watch. I'll do that because, unlike Byron Donalds, I'm not a politician. I'm an investor and a businessman. I stood up to Wall Street. I sued the Federal Reserve, and I filed a landmark brief with the Supreme Court defending President Trump's right to fire corrupt federal officials. I started Incubate Debate, a free high school debate league for thousands of kids across Florida so they could learn how to debate, discuss, and grow as Americans.
He's making master debaters, guys.
I love our state. I am a fourth-generation Floridian. My great-grandfather fought in World War I and then owned a small hotel on Fort Lauderdale Beach. My grandfather fought in World War II and ran 750 head of cattle in Okeechobee. My father proudly drove the city bus in Broward County, where I was born and raised. I went to Florida public schools from kindergarten to graduation. Even though I grew up in South Florida, I now call the Panhandle home. I'm an unapologetic Christian who believes that Jesus Christ is the way, the truth, and the life. And I'm a proud American who will never apologize for our history. In the coming months, I'm going to meet as many Florida voters as I can, where they live, work, and pray. I'll visit all 67 counties because Florida's next governor has to be someone you can see, talk to, and even debate with. I look forward to seeing you soon. My name is James Fishback, and I approve this message because Florida is our home, America is our birthright, and we will never let them steal it from us.
Hell yeah, look at the orange in the O.
Nice.
So yeah, we're actually expecting we're going to have him on the show in a week or two. Okay. Old World Florida exclusive interview. James Fishback. Coming up. Well, we won't overhype it too much. No, it's not 100% locked in, but a week or two, we'll see what happens. So keep an eye out, guys. But also, yeah. And I think voting's not for, I don't know, a couple of months, a couple seasons. I don't know. But let's start off with the calendar. We'll check up with Fishback next live stream too. All right, man. The Gregorian calendar. Make sure you go watch the last two streams we did. But we're going to be filling in some blanks, and the earliest comments on this stream were saying things like, oh, when did they take out the 13 months from our calendar, right? They. Why'd they take our 13 months? 13 times 28 has nothing to do with the moon. Hate to break it to you guys. And I don't want to spend too much time on it because we did last episode. 13 times 28 has nothing to do with the moon. A lunar calendar is 354. And as Merlin pointed out last time, Beautiful. 354 days. That's a lunar calendar. Now, if we're going by phases, not rising and settings, if we're going by phases, it's the exception for there to be 13 moons in a solar year. It's not more likely that happens. It's less likely that happens. So most years only have 12 moons,
Mm-hmm.
more or less. And big misconception. People say, oh, the turtle shell has the lunar calendar with 364 days. Untrue. So we talked a lot about that last time. We won't beat a dead horse too much. But we need to talk about the Gregorian calendar a little bit. And, you know, if questions come up, we'll answer those too. So if you didn't see the last show, that's okay. You can ask questions. All right. Merlin, opening thoughts.
So the Gregorian calendar is, I don't want to say perfect, because only the heavens are perfect, in my humble opinion, when it comes to timekeeping. And every calendar is just a representation of our best estimation of the heavens. So the Gregorian calendar is great. It's extremely astrological. And especially when it comes to the new year, guys, we're going to talk about the new year probably twice. You know, we got the January New Year and then the April New Year, and they're both distinct. And those have to do with the cardinal points, guys. So there are 4 cardinal points in the zodiac. You've got Capricorn, Cancer, Aries, and Libra. And in 2 of those cardinal points, the sun strengthens, meaning it gains power. So it gains power in Capricorn, and the sun gains power again in Aries. So those are both good times to start the new year, because it's a solar calendar and you should keep your time by the sun, because the moon is too chaotic for good timekeeping. The moon is irregular, just like a woman. Sorry, just is what it is. But like, you know, the sun is steady, whereas the moon, it's a 28-day cycle around the zodiac, but it's a 29.5-day cycle from new moon to new moon. So it's just, those 2 things are not the same. And then also, it's not the same every single year. And yeah, someone in the chat mentioned 4 seasons. And guys, you know, we mentioned episode 1. Longo loves to mention this, and it's so true. Astrology is all about the seasons. And what's the name of that hotel? Is it the 3 seasons? The 5 seasons? The 6? No, it's the 4 seasons, because that's how many seasons there are. That's how many cardinal points there are. And the new year has to do with the strengthening of the sun. That's what it's all about. So January is a great time to start the new year. Sig and Longo were talking about New Year's resolutions. You know, when it comes to Capricorn, you know, that's why we have New Year's resolutions in Capricorn and not in April, because Capricorns are resolute. You know, that goat might fall down, but he'll climb that freaking mountain again over and over. So yeah, I guess we'll talk about January first. With we have January, Enero, and Janus associated with January. Longo, any thoughts on any of that? Are you muted? I'm sorry, or am I?
Yeah, I was muted. Sorry.
You're good.
January is our first month in the Gregorian calendar. It takes its name from Janus. Here, let's get us out of the way here. Janus is the two-faced god. Okay. Roman god / goddess, according to some, you know. Sometimes it's a man and a man. Sometimes it's a young man and an older man's face. Sometimes it's a man and a woman, you know, smashed into one. Like Siamese twins almost, right? Janus. Janus is the god / goddess of doorways, beginnings, openings, and keys, right? Because you need keys to open doors. Janus, some say portals, right? Like figurative doorways too, and different types of doorways. Janus is the god of some other things too, but what's really important in terms of astrology is to understand that Uranus is Janus. So Janus is the planet Uranus, or the heavenly body that we call Uranus. So why the mix-up? Well, Janus is the Roman name. Uranus is the Greek name. This is the only planet that we use the Greek name instead of the Roman name. Uranus, Janus. If you say that fast, start playing with an accent, Spanish accent, you can make Uranus sound like Janus pretty easy. It's a simple shift, simple evolution.
Uranus.
Uranus, Eanus, Janus, Janus with a Y, however you want to say it. It's easy. So January from Janus. Now, astrologically, that makes perfect sense. The only thing that doesn't make perfect sense is we're starting with Janus, Capricorn, or Aquarius. As we said before, you could be starting in spring. You probably should be starting in spring with March. Aries, number 1. But we're starting in January. We're talking about the Gregorian year. So January, the beginning of January is in Capricorn. The ending of January is in Aquarius. So Janus, January. Remember I said Janus sometimes is an old man and a young man?
Mm-hmm.
That's very Capricornian, wouldn't you say?
100%.
Right. Father time. Saturn rules Capricorn. Saturn also traditionally rules Aquarius, but Uranus is what gives Aquarius its unique qualities that are separate from Capricorn. So Janus is Uranus, and Uranus rules Aquarius. So January 19th-ish, we cross into January 20th, 21st, some people debate, whatever. January 20th, roughly, we cross into Aquarius. Aquarius is the 11th sign of the zodiac. Capricorn's the 10th. But yeah, you want to say anything about Janus?
Yeah, I mean, what do you hear with the new year? New year, new me. It's a reinvention. You get that opportunity to, step through a new door, reinvent yourself. Janus is also the god of duality. So, you can embrace that other side of your nature. If you've been sloth or slovenly, or, you've been a glut or lazy, slothful, you can hit that duality, right? And that's what's so cool about sin and virtue, is they are a duality, right? For every sin, there's a corresponding virtue you can try to aspire to. So I really like Capricorn and Janus and January. I really respect both New Years. I think they're both very, very important. And it's important to understand that they both work as the New Year, guys. My humble opinion, but I mean, it just is what it is. But it really is a time to be resolute, make your resolutions, and be who you want to be. God gave us free will, and it's cool that we learn astrology, but don't let your astrology define you. Learn who you are and then become the best version of yourself. And January, in the dead of winter, when things are at their darkest, when when you're looking for Gandalf on the fucking third day of the dawn, and you're waiting for him to come, that's your chance to reinvent yourself and become a man, become who you're meant to be. Is in January. You start that shit, you plant those seeds.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Saturn, as this comment says, Saturnalia would have been before, right, the shift into Capricorn. That would have been the shift into Capricorn, be marked by Saturnalia. And then I think Janus have a holiday. I think Janus might have been. Yeah. Calends of January, January 1st. This day was sacred to Janus as the beginning of the year. Okay, interesting.
Ooh, apparently Janus presided over the beginning and ending of conflict as well. And here on the third day of January, we got some conflict. You know, we came on knocking at Maduro's door.
Yeah.
Very apropos of Janus.
So Janus, we also have like Anu, Ano, like year.
Mm-hmm. I know. Yep.
New. We have new, like new, right? January, Janus, New Year. So yeah,
And,
Janus, go ahead.
And Anero is also almost like enter, Anero, and enter through a new door. And like, you know, janitor is a Janus word. And, you know, what's another name for a janitor? A custodian. So you take custody, you know, and custodians, guys, should be very venerated, in my opinion, because to take custody is to take ownership. So in January, you take custody of the direction of your life.
Mm-hmm. So what do we got after Janus?
Janus, we've got February, Febrero,
Right.
and Februus.
Yeah. So Februus was a Roman god who's kind of equivalent to Pluto or Hades. Less of an underworld deity and more of like a disease or like ruled sickness, illness, fever. We get the word fever from Februus.
Feber, yeah.
That's why lots of people get the fever around February, right in the dead of cold, damp winter. Fever season, February. So Februus is a Roman god who ruled illness, sickness, and a lot of the things that Pluto ruled. So an association with the underworld, death, endings, right? And that makes sense because Februus, being Plutonian, how does that show up, right? Well, Pisces is the 12th sign of the zodiac. Not many people know that Pisces has an association with Pluto. Yeah, how did I say this? Does Pluto exalt in Pisces? Did I say that to you before?
I think so. I think you said that there were a total of 5 planets astrologically involved. Because you got Neptune as ruler, Jupiter as ruler, Venus exaltation, Pluto exaltation, but then also the moon is heavily involved with Pisces because in the tarot, the moon card is associated with Pisces. And of course, Pisces is quite lunar because it's a wet sign, wet and watery.
Yeah, so Pluto exalts in Pisces. Thank you for reminding me. Pluto exalts in Pisces. And that is why Pisces also has this depth to it. Pluto rules the underworld, right? Think of words. Plunge. Plunder.
Splash.
Yeah. What are some other words?
Plural.
Well, so yeah, plunge, plunder. There's more words. Basically, plug. Yeah, that could have to do with it. So, PL words and FL words, floor, flow. A lot of FL and PL words go back to Pluto and Pisces. Florida, ruled by Pisces, March 3rd. Florida's birthday is Pisces. Flow, Florida. What are some other good FL words? Fluorescent, floral, flower. Fluid, yep. Very Pisces. So February is Pluto, and this makes perfect sense that in the months, Uranus shows up with January, and then Pluto shows up with February. February marks the cross from Aquarius into Pisces. So then, yeah, who's next?
Next, we got good old Mars. Marzo, and
Yeah.
Mars.
So after February, you have Mars is March. How many people know that? People say, oh, well, oh, how about this? March to war.
Mm-hmm.
That's one for one. That's the same word. March to war comes from Mars. Mars is the god of war. Mars rules aggression, the color red, some people would say, iron, right? So blood is red because it has iron in it, oxidizes red. Iron is kind of blue and then it bleeds red. That's kind of like us, right? Our blood is blue and it bleeds red, right, when exposed.
Mm-hmm.
So Mars, Iron Man, Mars rules man. Iron Man's a bit of a martial kind of archetype character. Yeah, march off to war. So what time of year is this? This is Aries. Aries, the zodiac sign, is phonetically identical to Ares, the Greek god of war. So Aries in Greek is Mars in Roman or Latin. Mars, where we get words like martial arts, court martial. What else? Mark. You know, your mark is what you're shooting at, what you're aiming at. You know, mark. Or you're getting ready to run a race. You know, on your mark. How do they say that right?
Someone
ready.
said martyr. On your mark, go.
On your mark, get ready, get set, go. Something like that.
Yeah.
So mark is all about, you know, competition, aiming, precision.
And in traditional astrology, Mars rules the water triplicity. So, guys, each of the planets and luminaries, they rule a different triplicity during the night and during the day. Mars is the only planet that rules the same triplicity both night and day. Mars rules the watery triplicity, meaning Pisces, Scorpio, and Cancer, nocturnally and diurnally.
All right.
So
well, don't worry about this. This
What's
is just might go over everyone's head.
Well, no, because I want to say, because like we get words like marina from the water. So like the point that it's not that in depth, because just like Mars rules the watery triplicity, and then we get words like marina, and think about it, like, oh, Mars and water, but like what war is not won without naval dominance? You know, like what did the U.S. do to Venezuela first? Well, we brought our naval aircraft carriers into Venezuela. So the sea is inextricably connected to war. So that's why I brought, not to go too deep into it, but it is, you know, we're trying to teach a little bit, and that's what and I think that's a very important connection. You know, we get words like marina. You know, you dock your boat in the marina. To say sea in Spanish, the sea, like SEA, is mar, MAR.
Yeah.
So it's yeah.
Yeah. I just see there a stronger connection to Mary, you know, and Maria. It's Maria, you know. Mars and Maria are close. That's something that could be explained more. But yeah, Maria is either the moon or Venus, and those are pretty wet. You know, they have an association with the ocean, right?
Yeah.
Mars, I don't know. Mar-a-Lago. You see, I renamed myself Mar-a-Lago.
Did you? No, I can't. I don't see our names near us on this. There we go. Nice.
See that?
Mar-a-Lago.
Yeah. But all right. Mars. Yeah. Mars is the god of war. Aries is the god of war. And Aries starts in March.
Mm-hmm.
March, April. Yeah, then April. So who's next?
Next up, we've got a dual goddess with April, Abril. We have Aphrodite and Apis, the bull
Yeah.
god.
Yeah, there's a lot you can do with the word April. Number one, it means open, beginning, right? Like abrir, open the door. Abra la puerta, or however they say it.
Abracadabra.
Abracadabra, yep.
Yeah.
To start or to open. And that's what's happening in April. So, okay, and now what's funny there is, you could do April 1st there, abracadabra. You could also say Mars is the first sign of the zodiac. Or, sorry, Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. And it starts in March, but it's also happening through April.
Mm-hmm.
And April also counts as the first sign of the zodiac. So there's an opening happening here. There's a beginning. Also, phonetically, Aphrodite with a P, Aphrodite, right? That is Venus. Aphrodite is Venus, is Freya, right? A couple other goddesses. They're all Venus. Aphrodisiac,
Mm-hmm. To apprehend, you can take something if you apprehend.
Apprehend, appetite,
Mm-hmm.
right? So these are all very Taurus words, right? Because right after Aries, we get Taurus. So Taurus is the second sign of the zodiac. And right now we've talked about Aquarius. Then where we talked about
Pisces.
Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces, Aries. Now we're talking about Taurus a little bit. So there's Aphrodite, Apis. Apis is the bull god, Egyptian bull god. Aphrodite is just Venus, another way of saying Venus.
Mm-hmm.
And phonetically, you can smash those together into April. Also, what's funny about Abril in Spanish is this is Aries season, right? Like we were saying before. Well, what's right across from Aries on this
Libra.
zodiac? And look at the anagram or the backwards word we have here. It's pretty close. Abril is pretty
Mhm.
close to Libra backwards, isn't it?
Yeah. The opposite. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
very nice.
Well, all right. So moving on.
May, Mayo, and Maya.
Yeah. So May comes from Maya, guys. That's a Greek goddess. Goddess of springtime, fertility, light, flowers, things like that. Basic shit. Basic goddess stuff.
Just goddess shit.
Yeah. Let me refresh on Maya real quick. What else? Okay, associated with the Pleiades. That's
Mhm.
interesting.
She's one of the 7 stars of the Pleiades.
Mother of Hermes.
And Mother of
Identified-
Hermes.
Identified with the Earth goddess Maya.
Yeah, and that's what's cool. Hermes is Mercury, astrologically, and, mythologically. And, Mercury is given, he's given birth, meaning his first sign is in May, Gemini. And then he exalts in Virgo, an earth sign, the sign of his mother, Maya, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. And Maya, yeah, an Earth, Earth Day being April, technically, but it's still same sign of the zodiac, right? So Maya is Venus. And here's a big one. With astrology, people always try and compute Earth. Like, oh, what's the symbol for Earth? Or what's Earth? Oh, let me do this chart from Mars's perspective.
Oh my
or
gosh,
like
dude.
another planet's perspective. let me cast Earth in Venus's chart, right? Or whatever. Guys, Venus is the Earth planet. The planet that rules over Earth is Venus. Venus rules not Mother Nature, but like terra firma, or terra. When we say terra, Torah, terra, toro, same root there, right? Terra is Venus.
Yeah.
Hate to break it to you guys, but there's no Earth in astrology. Earth is the center of it all. It's not some other object to be computed. This is... Yeah, go ahead.
The things in the sky are nothing like what you're standing on. The things in the sky are nothing like what you're standing on, guys. And if I may go back to triplicities for a second, you're entirely correct, because Venus rules the Earth triplicity during the day, and the moon rules the Earth triplicity during the night. So those two feminine bodies rule the Earth. And of course, what do we call the Earth? Is it Father Earth? Uncle Earth? Brother Earth? No, it's always Mother Earth, ruled by the two feminine, the feminine planet and the feminine luminary.
Yep. Yeah. Now, Mayo, do you guys know that Mayo comes from, I think, Mahone in
I did not know that.
Menorca? Yeah, and Mayo in America comes from Florida. You're welcome, guys. You're welcome for the Mayo. The Menorcans brought Mayo to America. The Menorcans.
Mayonnaise?
Yep, mayonnaise. Sorry, I should have said mayonnaise. Yep.
What about Miracle Whip? Is that Florida too?
I don't know. Ask your mom. I've never had Miracle Whip in my life.
Someone in chat said Patty Mayonnaise. Shout out to Doug Funny.
Who's that?
It's a Nickelodeon show. Probably before your time.
Probably. All right. Talked about Maya. Maya is May. June we get from Juno. Goddess Juno. Wife of Jupiter. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. Wife of Jupiter, the mother goddess, right? So like Aphrodite and Maya are beautiful young women. Juno, she's the mom, the mother of the zodiac, and that's why the moon is associated with June and Cancer. Moon, June, Juno.
So equated to Hera in Greek mythology. Mother of Mars. Interesting.
Yep.
But so Juno, in Juno, we're seeing, well, in May, we see the cross from Taurus to Gemini. Taurus to Gemini. In June, we see Gemini going into Cancer. So that makes sense because Cancer is all about fertility, or not so much fertility, but motherhood, conception. Cancer, conception. Taurus is everything leading up to conception. Okay, the fertility rituals, the fertility, developing your fertility, fruitfulness, right? Go be fruitful. That's Freya. That's, that Fra. That Fra root goes back to Freya, Aphrodite, Venus. Conception clearly goes to Cancer. So Cancer, conception. That makes sense. Cancer is all about multiplication and increasing in size. So crabs have some of the most kids per mother in the animal kingdom. One crab can have 1 million babies. 1 million babies. That's a lot of kids, right? So Juno, being a mother archetype, is adequately positioned right there in between Gemini to Cancer. Makes perfect sense. I hope you guys are seeing the perfect harmony, the seasonal harmony in the Gregorian calendar. So Juno, Gemini going into Cancer.
Yeah, and that goes back to that question that we got earlier, like why the Gregorian calendar, why January 1st? Because each of these months, as you guys see, there's a little bit of each sign in both of the months. So that's why they are what they are, is there's meant to be that blended harmony that shows that natural progression of one sign to the next. And when it comes to Cancer too, guys, the 15th degree of Cancer is very, very sacred, because the 15th degree of Cancer is where Jupiter exalts, but it's also where the moon was believed to be at the beginning. Whenever things began, each planet has a specific position in the zodiac, and the 15th degree of Cancer is where the moon begins. So that's pretty cool. And of course, Jupiter's the father, the moon's the mother. Cancer's all about, conception and multiplication. And in the 15th degree of Cancer, the father and the mother literally, not to be gross, but, come together.
Yeah. Conceive.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Exactly.
Juno, we see the phonetic root of Jupiter coming through, showing through. Who's next after Juno?
Okay.
July. Named for Julius, right? Julius Caesar.
Mm-hmm.
But what else can we see in there? Julio. Well, Leo starts in July. That's not a coincidence. Peter, July. Okay. That makes sense because Cancer is where Jupiter exalts, as Merlin just said. And Cancer is spread across June and July. So Jupiter is, presiding over that area. July also, people love to make the joke. 4th of July. For the July.
Mm-hmm.
Why was America founded? Not when, but why was America founded? For the July. All right. Moving on.
To August?
Yeah, please.
Sure.
So August, named for Augustus Caesar. But what else can we see in the name August? August. AU is gold in the periodic table. AU. What's up with that? So, and then gust or gusto. If someone has gusto, right, that's almost like, bravado or machismo or strength, or, you're puffed up, you're masculine or something like that. Gusto is almost like gall, or how else would you say it? But
yeah,
it's like a nerve. Where do you get the nerve to do that? Or pride, or very Leo is what I'm getting at. This is very look at me, I'm the best, kind of.
It's the sun's triumph right before the fall. And how cool is that? Talk about the Roman emperors, right? The Roman emperors both triumphed and then fell. Caesar and Augustus both did that. And the sun is as powerful as it gets in August, and the golden winds of the sun, the AU gust of the sun, makes everything turn gold. Because what comes next after this? We got the fall, where the leaves turn gold, the grass turns gold, and then dies after it turns gold. So that's by the effect of the sun.
Gusto also has to do with enjoyment too. It's not just intensity or enthusiasm. It's, especially in Spanish, you see me gusto, or gusta, what brings you pleasure.
Mhm.
Leo's all about pleasure. Leo is the house of pleasure. The 5th house is the house of pleasure and enjoyment. So gusto, August, you can see Leo's personality even in the month name. All right, moving on. Also, the fact that it's named after a ruler, pretty Leo. Now, the same could be said for, July and August.
Exactly. Both
Two
Leo.
kings. Two
Yeah.
kings. It's Leo. It's perfect. It's rulers. All right, moving on.
Septiembre.
Yeah. So September is the first numbered month. Now, we talked about this on our last episode, and it's another one that people just really get confused by. Oh, September. Sept means 7, but why is September the 9th month? Well, it's not because of the 13 moons. It's not because of the 13 constellations. It's not because someone stole your months or stole your calendar, or robbed you of, anything. It's because we don't know our astrology. There's a lack of astrological literacy. That's it. Just learn about it and you're done. You're already there. Okay, we don't need to whine about it too much.
Mhm.
If we're starting in March as number 1, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, that's 7. September, October, 8, November, 9, December, 10. That's how you do it. Start in March, start with Aries. You're counting by the zodiac. You're not counting starting with January. We start with March. That's how you line up September to 7, October to 8, and so on and so on. Easy. That's the divine harmony.
And the numbered months begin with the fall. Only the fall months are numbered. There are 4 months of the fall. You have September, October, November, December, and there's 4 signs that are the fall. You've got your Libra, your Scorpio, your Sag, and then your Capricorn. Those are the 4 months of the fall. And then in the Bible, it says what? That 1/3 of God's angels fell. Well, that's 1/3 of the angles of the zodiac are of the fall.
1/3 of the year.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, okay. September, also, fallen angels, what were they doing? They were usurping.
Nice.
Usurped. You acted serpentine. You acted like a snake. You stole power. You snuck your way into the ruling class, and you stole. You usurped the king. Well, sept is the same root as serped, as in serpent too. Serpent. In fact, some languages, serpent or sept is how you say snake. Sept and snake. So serpent, September. Now, what's that all about? It's Libra. Libra is Lucifer. And in the Garden of Eden, the serpent goes unnamed. But regardless of whether it's Lucifer or Saturn, both of those come together in Libra.
Mm-hmm.
Lucifer means light bringer. Libra means light bringer. Libra. Bring the light. I brought the light. Right? Libra. So, also, Lucifer, Libra, the serpent on the tree is also the caduceus. Virgo is the sign of medicine. And Libra is the sign of also commerce a little bit, right? Libra is the sign of
books.
Yeah. Well, Virgo on the caduceus is right there on the cusp, going over to Libra. And money, medicine, Lucifer. It's the serpentine energy. That's really exhibited in September in Libra.
Yep.
So the fall equinox, right? This is the fall time. False teachings, false light, false, you name it. False is fall, right? That's fall. The color in the fall time is seductive and it pulls you outside because the devil wants to get you stuck out in the cold, dark night of winter, right? It's like the sunset. The sunset begs you to go out and, oh, come on, keep acting like the day's going on. Oh, look how beautiful it is. Don't you just want to dance and go out and drink a little and, the day's never going to end. Well, then it gets dark. It gets real dark, right? And then you get stuck out in the dark, stuck out in winter, whatever it is. So that is the danger of how seductive Libra is. Darkness comes after Libra, Scorpio, right? Death. Libra is the seduction that leads to death, right? Or like sin, death, whatever you want to call it, right? Eating from the tree of knowledge of good and evil results in death, right? Or said to. So, all right, Virgo going into Libra, that's September. That's
And
Serpent, Virgo to Libra in September.
yeah, and astrologically, Venus is Lucifer. When Venus rises after it retrogresses, when Venus rises before the sun and is east of the sun, it's a false light because it's so bright. So Venus is that false light bringer. So that's why Venus is Lucifer, and then Saturn, i.e., Satan, exalts in Libra. So there's another Lucifer Venus or Lucifer Saturn connection in Libra. But you want to move on to October?
Exactly, yeah. So people always, Libra is how you can understand the serpent in the garden. People always say, oh, it was Lucifer. Oh, it was Saturn. Or sorry, oh, it was Satan. Which one was it? Satan? Was it Lucifer? People say, oh, it was the devil. What about the devil? Eve, serpent, and devil all go to Libra. Libra, just like we're talking about fall, it's the evening of the day and the eve of the year. Fall time is the evening of the year. Sunset is like fall time, right? The colors of fall time are like the colors of sunset.
100%.
Eve is the evening. Adam is odd. Eve is even, right? 1, odd. 2, Eve. Because Venus is showing up in the second sign of the zodiac, Taurus, then shows up again in the seventh sign of the zodiac. So the evening, you could look at it as the second sign, but also the second half of the zodiac. Eve, or Venus, evens everything, right? Okay. That's September. And that's also the scales, it's balance. The devil loves balance. Sick, twisted people love balance because it gives plenty of room for them to exist, right? If balance is like the God, the law of the land, then you're going to have to put up with a bunch of disgusting crap. Because, oh, well, if there's going to be good and purity, there's got to be disgusting stuff. That's not God's law. That's like Lucifer's influence. Everything's equality. Everything's balance. Black magicians jerk themselves off with this. This is the only way they can sleep with themselves at night, is saying all things are, it's relativism. Relativism stems out of Libra too, right? It's the balance element of saying. It's also kind of the Baphomet thing, right? Tipping the scales. So Libra, sorry, but it gets the short end of the stick and is often vilified mythologically, astrotheologically, because the sun is the main hero of this whole opera, and the sun isn't too happy in Libra. The sun is, fallen in Libra. The sun's not happy.
Yep.
So,
And the fruit associated with it is the apple, or Blanca might say the orange, both of which are most ripely harvested in the fall. And if you don't pick them from the tree, they will literally fall off of the tree eventually.
Shawty got them apple bottom jean. So apple is all about Aphrodite. See,
Venus again.
the golden apple is citrus. The apple of femininity is, the red apple, the apple bottom, the one that's more, how would we say it? Curvaceous, right?
Mm.
The one that has those lumps, those
Lovely lady lumps.
those lovely lady lumps. That fruit is ruled by Venus, not the sun. So when we're talking about apple, a golden apple is Apollo. A red apple is Aphrodite, right? Venus. So go look in an astrological reference book. Apples are ruled by Venus. Citrus is ruled by the sun.
True.
All right, moving on. October, not named after a god, but octo means 8. Well, as we said earlier, that has to do with Scorpio being the 8th sign of the zodiac. So Scorpio is the 8th sign. Octopus have 8 limbs. Okay, right? You guys know that. But also, there's a interesting phonetic root here. Action. Okay, auction. When someone dies, usually auction off their stuff, right? Or you're giving away
Nice.
someone's stuff, right? Auction, action, actual, right? This is real. This has serious implications. It's, actually happening, right? What other act, whatever. So this goes to Scorpio. Tactical, right? Tact, that's very scorpionic.
100%.
Locked, that's pretty good. Locked, yeah, that's a good one. But 8, the number 8, you can link to words like hate. Okay. Whoa. Just kidding. Okay.
Don't count on Scorpio's bad side. They will hold a grudge and hate you for a long time.
Yep, and hate goes back to Hades. So Hades is Pluto. Pluto rules Scorpio. And that's where we get words like hate. Hades. Okay.
If you ate an animal, you killed it.
October. 8. Scorpio is the 8th sign of the zodiac. Halloween is there, right? Sex, death, rebirth. That's very scorpionic. All right. Moving on. November. And I should have said, September, we're going from Virgo to Libra. October, we're going from Libra to Scorpio. November, we're going from Scorpio to Sagittarius. But mostly Scorpio in November. So Nov means 9, right? November's the 11th month. We explained how to fix that. But Nov means some other things. Number 1, it can mean like new, nova, right? Nuevo. Also, in Spanish, novia or novio, mi novio, mi novia. My boyfriend, my girlfriend. That's novio or novio. Noviembre, right? So this is a time when lovers are getting together. Scorpio, right?
Yeah.
Novia. You boyfriend, girlfriend. Very scorpionic, right? So what else? Also interesting, ember, right? There's a lot of embers flying around
With the fall months again.
Yeah. The leaves maybe look like embers burning. Who knows? I don't know. Reddish, fiery.
Yep. The sun in the
But-
sky is at its weakest, and it is an ember in the sky at this point. As it's dying out until it reaches Capricorn, and that little ember gets a spark and starts growing in strength again at the new year.
Mm-hmm.
The new year in January, that is.
Yeah, okay. So November.
Yep. And November is a month of celebration, guys, because if you make it through Scorpio, the month of death, you're probably going to make it through to the next spring, so you can celebrate, feast a little bit, and then buckle up for the real winter.
Yeah. All right, guys. Diciembre is going from Sagittarius to Capricorn. From Sag to Capricorn, Sagittarius ruled by Jupiter, Capricorn ruled by Saturn. So in December, we could look at that and see words like dis, right? Which means like bad or negative or to take away, right?
Or to mock. I'm dissing you.
Exactly. Mocking.
And Capricorn rules humor, especially capricious humor.
But to negatively, that's dis. That's the unifying thread between all the different dis words is it's somewhat negative, right?
Mm-hmm.
Capricorn is kind of like that, Saturn's kind of like that.
Saturn,
Also,
traditionally the most distant planet.
Yep. Distance. Also, if you want to make December, if you want to make that C hard, deck, right? Going up to the deck, right? Like the highest level, very Capricornian, right? To go up deck, up on, how do they say this? On deck, above deck.
Mhm,
That's
above
what-
deck, yeah.
Above deck. Okay, yeah. Going to the top, surfacing or going to the very top of something.
Rising like
Very
a goat.
Capricornian, like the mountain goat, yeah. So, and I don't know how much this, who knows? Let's see where this takes us. In Spanish, you say dice, like tell me, say it. Say something, declare something.
Mm-hmm.
Declare, dice, right? Dice, rolling the dice. That's kind of Saturnian. Dice are like cubes, right? Aren't
Yeah.
they? Okay. Sagittarius and Capricorn don't have much in common. But what do they do have in common? Decadence.
Yeah.
Decadence. So you see all these deck words. Destitute, right? Dissolved, destroyed. Sagittarius and Capricorn, pretty destructive signs, right?
Yeah. Decimation.
Totally. So, yeah. In every month, you see the zodiac being exhibited. The personality of the zodiac bleeding through into the month. All right, what's after this? Anything after this?
What do we got? Nope. That's the end of the slideshow for today.
Oh yeah.
I got the New Year stuff, but I mean that we already went over another show, so we're not going to rehash that.
Right. Well, all right. What else? Anything you want to talk about?
Well, I got this to end with. Check this out. Erica Kirk on her way to Grief Mania SummerSlam.
That's funny.
That shit cracks me up every time.
Erica Kirk, bro. She's chopped.
Yeah.
She's got that bulldog face now.
Oh, dude, she's crazy looking. Like, genuinely scary.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's got a real malicious look about her. She's like, stop. Just stop. It's like, whoa, lady. You got a few super chats, though.
Nice. Zalero Morales with the $20 says, I would rather super chat you through Rumble ASAP to YouTube. You guys always deliver, and we appreciate you greatly. HNY. Thanks, Solero.
Solero's a homie.
6 Hour with the 199 says, from all of us, thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing. You're very welcome. Wojo6567 says, 67.
God, don't remind me, dude.
$5. I got fired from the calendar factory for taking a couple days off.
It's an excellent
funny. Real funny.
That's a really good one.
All right.
Oh.
Anything else?
The last super chat here from No Coiner.
No Coiner 5599 $5 says, any Richard Tarnasesk? What the fuck? Tarnasesk big astrological things happenings this year, and any thoughts on the astrological vibes of 2026? Are you taking call-ins still? I think the link is still in YouTube. I think the link is still pinned on the YouTube chat. But here's the astrological forecast for the year. It's going to be an amazing year. It's going to be the best year ever.
It's even the channels, like, I don't know about you guys. I watch a lot of astrology on YouTube, and some people are going like, oh, the astrology of 2026. Even they're like, it's not going to be that bad of a year. You know, I think the big transit to watch out for is Saturn entering Aries. I only use 7 planets in my astrology because I like being accurate. But, you know, so always keep an eye on Saturn. And when Saturn changes signs, that's a big deal. You know, this summer, we're going to have Jupiter enter Leo. That's going to be a change of pace, probably a less potent Jupiter in Leo, moving out of Cancer as exaltation. But other than that, you know, a pretty good year. We'll have a Venus retrograde in Scorpio moving into Libra this fall. So whenever Venus retrogresses, you know, watch your relationships and especially your love life. And that those are, in my opinion, the big transits of the year. Are you going to show yourself on Tu Apri?
Yeah. And guys, before we wrap up, who has ever heard of Tu Apri, the YouTube channel? We're on his YouTube channel right now. We're looking at it. You guys see that? Yeah. I don't know anything about him. He's a YouTuber, comedian, actor, comedian, creator. And he made a video in YouTube in Lake Worth, Florida, my hometown. Not my birth town, but my hometown, where I live, where the store is. And he went up and down our main drag and kind of like trolled, messed with all the businesses, and just videotaped how they responded. So looks like I passed the chill test, because I guess that's what it's all about, is the people who don't. I didn't know this, okay? The video came out, did pretty well. If you're one of the businesses that don't take kindly to his trolling, if you like put up a little fight, or if you're a little, you know, sour to him or anything, his subscribers come for your jugular and they bomb. They nuke your reviews on Yelp and stuff if you're not chill to him.
That's pretty messed up, man.
Well, if you're chill to him, they bomb your reviews with good, you know, reviews. They flood with good reviews. So apparently I did okay. We got some good reviews out of it. A couple businesses didn't do so well, but I'll flip through. You guys,
know these guys? Like, do you like recognize these people?
Yeah, I recognize everyone on the street. Everyone.
Oh, that's wild. Okay,
this guy works at the French shop. This is a cop. I don't know. These guys are from out of town. But this is what my town looks like, Lake Worth. It's very nice. And this guy got trolled, mouth breather. Sorry. No offense, dude. This guy got wrecked. Be surprised if he still has his job.
The black guy did well.
Yeah, this is where I got the suits. This is where I got my
dude.
suits. So
He seems chill as fuck.
he passed the vibe test for sure, the vibe check.
Yeah, that's awesome.
This is where I got both my suits. Mr. Charles. Prods or Prades menswear. Yeah. He recognized him. I didn't know who he was. So they invited him in. They got a nice shout out. I did invite him in, but he didn't put it in the video. And I didn't know who he was. Yeah, that's where I got my suit. You might be able to see it on the rack.
The Longo suit.
Yeah. So minute 40. There we go. So go check this out if you guys haven't seen it. He's just kind of messing with me a little bit.
Yeah, from what I gathered, you were like, "Get the fuck away from me." It's like the vibe I got, but he was being a little, the character he plays is a little bit odd. I feel like on purpose to try and test you a little bit.
Yeah. But he surprised me. He's kind of funny. I mean, he's a little bit of a troll. He kind of is fishing for a reaction, I'll be honest.
Mm-hmm.
He was cool when I met him, but essentially what he does is he goes up to your business and puts his phone or his camera like right up to the window and films straight into the business. Not that I really cared, but that's how he gets all the business owners to like get up, like walk out the door and be like, "Hey, what are you doing? Can I help you with anything?" And he doesn't put that in the video. He just puts you coming out, starts the video there as if. So I can kind of sympathize with the dog store owner or the dog store manager a little bit. But whatever, don't be such a twat about it,
And I don't know how people still in the year 2025-26 are like, "You can't film me in public." Like, dude, like how could you possibly not know that in this year? It's actually wild that people don't realize this stuff, man.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, he films from the outside. Then I went out and said something and talked to him for a little. But yeah, he got some trannies on cam.
Oh.
Hell yeah. Do you want me to put in a good word for you?
Aphrodite right there, man. Yeah, bro, please.
This guy's hilarious. But yeah. All right. Yeah, guys, go check that video out. I dropped the link in the chat if you want to see it. All right. Gonna wrap things up a little early here tonight. Thanks to everyone for joining. We're almost at 400. Not quite, but 379. Maybe we maxed 380. Maybe we maxed out a little higher than that.
Did you want to throw that video on?
Which video?
The Essenian calendar one you were talking about?
No, it's okay. We filled up enough time.
All right.
It's good. Yeah. But all right, guys. Everyone have a good night. Thanks for joining. Got a nice little song here you guys might recognize. But all right, everyone have a good night. Oh, go subscribe. Go subscribe to Wise Wizard Merlin. Okay, let's do this.
And Dr. Narco Longo. And Old World Florida.
Here. Wise Wizard Merlin. Merlin's his channel name, I guess. Wise Wizard Merlin is the handle.
Mm-hmm.
Go subscribe. Check out his recent videos. This one blew up a little bit.
Yeah, I was surprised that one blew up, honestly.
So go subscribe. I'll drop the link in the chat.
And if you want some more New Year gravy, that video right there, the real reason April 1st is the new year, you will only find that, to my knowledge, on my channel or Old World Florida, because every truther will be like, "Oh, April 1st is the real new year." but they can never tell you why April 1st, the 1st of April specifically, and that video describes it perfectly for you.
And make sure to go subscribe to my other channel, Dr. Narco Longo. Link is in the chat. All right. All right. Peace. Good night.
Peace.
See you later.